It was 2:47 a.m. when Detective Marholt's phone rang. An unknown number, no caller ID. A voice on the other end simply said, "Mute Hill, there's a body." She didn't ask questions. She just drove. The road to Mute Hill was cracked and forgotten, covered in mist and old leaves that had never blown away. No lights, no signs, just a memory of stories parents told their children to keep them indoors. Mute Hill hadn't been mentioned in police reports since 1993, the year of the Mute Massacre, when 3 people were found dead inside a mansion that had no occupants. No one claimed the bodies. No one was ever charged. The entire event was swallowed by silence, filed under unsolved with red ink. The mansion rose out of fog like a wound in the earth, tall, gothic, and brooding. Its windows were dark, its gates rusted and sagging. It didn't look abandoned. It looked patient. As Mara stepped out her car, the air wrapped around her like cold silk. It wasn't just quiet, it was void. Not even insects dared to make a sound. This place was sealed, padlocked, boarded shut since before I joined the force. So why is the front door slightly open? She reached for her flashlight, its narrow beam slicing through the darkness. The door creaked open as if it had been expecting her. Inside, the air was stale and thick. Dust particles floated like falling ash. Furniture stood draped in white sheets, looking like ghosts caught mid-whisper. Every footstep echoed, but not quite in sync. There was always a second sound, a beat behind her own. The parlor lay just beyond a warped archway. A chandelier dangled from the ceiling like a frozen spider. Beneath it, sprawled across the wood floor, was a body, a man, early 40s, clean-shaven, fresh blood pooled beneath his chest. Still glistening in her flashlight beam, a knife protruded from his sternum. Clean insertion, deliberate. This wasn't an accident. It was a message. She crouched beside him. No wallet, no phone. His clothes were pressed and spotless, a style straight from the early 90s. Corduroy jacket, brown leather shoes. Even the gold watch on his wrist was frozen at 2:47 a.m., the exact time she received the call. Mara frowned. This doesn't make sense. He looks new, but this building hasn't had power in 3 decades. The stairs behind her groaned. She turned sharply, hand on her weapon. "If someone's here, identify yourself. This is Detective Holt." Silence. Then a whisper, faint, female, right next to her ear. He was never meant to leave. Her skin crawled. She spun in a full circle, light sweeping across empty walls. No one. She took the stairs slowly, hand gripping the rail. Each step groaned beneath her weight, but the creaks didn't line up with her movements. Sometimes they came after, sometimes before. The hallway upstairs stretched impossibly long. Faded wallpaper peeled away like shedding skin. On the far wall, strange symbols had been drawn in chalk, or was it bone dust? They pulsed faintly under her flashlight, glowing just enough to make her doubt her own eyes. She stopped in front of a locked door, chains wrapped around the handle like veins. It was sealed tight, but she tried her precinct evidence key out of instinct, and it clicked open. That key was supposed to be unique. Inside, the room smelled like mildew and old paper. A newspaper clipping lay carefully placed on the bedspread. October 12, 1993. Third victim identified as local officer James Holt. Her father. Mara's breath caught in her throat. Her father hadn't died in any massacre. He'd been in a car accident. At least, that's what she was told. She'd been 12. Too young to question a closed casket. Too obedient to doubt the department. Why was this clipping here? Why now? Then, she noticed something else. On the dresser, an old tape recorder. Analog. Marbled with dust, but the red play button was clean, as if someone had pressed it recently. She picked it up and pressed play. A low static buzz filled the room, followed by her father's voice. Calm, tired. "If you're hearing this, it means someone lied. I found something in the house. Something watching us. I tried to stop it, but it never left." A second voice, layered and human, cut through the tape. "She will come. She will remember." Mara dropped the recorder. It hit the floor and split open, tape unraveling like intestines. She backed out of the room, heart pounding. The hallway felt colder, narrower. The mirror at the end of the hall was fogged, and then slowly it cleared. In the reflection, she saw herself, and standing directly behind her, a man in a police uniform, smiling and bleeding from the chest. She turned, gun raised, but the hallway was empty. Her reflection, however, still showed 2 fingers, and the man behind her began to raise his hand. I didn't run. I should have, but I didn't. The hallway mirror still vibrated slightly, like it had been touched by something unseen. The man in the police uniform, smiling, bleeding, he wasn't there, but I could still smell blood, still feel it in the air. I turned in a slow circle, my heart hammering, my gun already drawn, my hands shaking. The house was silent, except for the creak of the stairs behind me. Beat. I pointed my flashlight back. Empty. I don't know why I didn't leave. Maybe because I knew whatever this was, it wasn't done with me. I walked back to the body in the living room, but it was gone, just like that. No blood on the floor, no sign of struggle, just the smell. Metallic, wrong. I stepped closer to the couch where the corpse had been. That's when I saw it. A photo frame shattered beneath the couch leg. I picked it up. It was old, cracked, but inside, a picture of a woman. My face. Pause. Not exactly me, but close enough to steal the breath from my lungs. Same eyes, same hair, same dimple near the left cheek. The date scratched on the back, 1957. I turned in place again. Something creaked upstairs. This time, not slow. Rushed, panicked, running. I pointed my gun upward and moved. Each stair moaned under my weight. The second floor smelled like dust and rotting wood. A hallway to the left. A door slightly ajar. And the sound of faint tick, tick, tick. I pushed the door open. A child's room. Empty crib. Broken toys. And in the corner, a tape recorder. Still playing. Beat. I pressed stop. Then rewind. I hit play. She watches from the mirror. She always has. She won't let us leave. The voice was a child's. Shaky. Afraid. I stepped backward into something wet. Blood spilled in a perfect circle on the wooden floor. I hadn't seen it when I entered. I don't know why, but now it was soaking into my boots. And the mirror in the room, it showed me again. But this time, my reflection was smiling. And behind me, the man, again. Only this time, I saw his badge. It read, Detective Amara Reed. My name, long pause. I spun fast. Nothing. Just a room. Just a silence. I grabbed the recorder and left. I needed out. I was halfway down the stairs when I heard the piano. Just a single key. Over and over. Low. Off tune. I followed the sound of the parlor. The grand piano was open. The same key kept pressing, but no one was there. No strings were moving, but it was playing. And scratched into the lid of the piano, I saw, You Never Left. Beat. I staggered back. Something cold wrapped around my wrist. I looked down and saw a bloody handprint gripping me, but there was no hand, no body, just the print. It vanished as I screamed. The front door was wide open. I don't remember opening it, but I ran. I ran until I couldn't see the house, until my lungs burned, until I could no longer hear the whisper that followed me, the one that said, She remembers you now. Long pause. I didn't sleep that night. I reviewed the photos I took. The body that was there, gone from every frame. The mirror, cracked in every shot. The reflection, still smiling. And in the last picture, my own face, eyes bleeding. And behind me, someone standing, holding a badge. It read, Detective Amara Reed. But I never took that picture. They say the mind fills in what it can't explain. But I remember what I saw. I remember him. The mirror didn't lie. I should have left that house and never looked back. But I didn't. Instead, I found myself parked outside it again the next evening. staring up at the warped windows like they owed me answers. The house was watching me. I could feel it. I don't know what I was hoping for. Maybe that the man in the uniform would return. Maybe that I'd catch him in the act of, what exactly? Being dead? The door groaned open without resistance. The air was heavier than before, moist, almost metallic. I stepped inside. The hallway mirror had been wiped clean. I swear it. That thick coating of dust? Gone. Just streaks now. Wiped by fingers, 5 of them, long and deliberate, like someone wanted to see something. The air was ice. I moved carefully, scanning every corner, every shadow. And then I saw it. On the wall beside the staircase was a blood-stained note. Paper, aged, written in handwriting that was unmistakably mine. You knew this would happen. E. I staggered back. E. My first initial. I don't remember writing it. I climbed the stairs, one creaking step after another. My flashlight caught something at the top. A trail, smears of something dark, almost black, leading into the room on the left, the room where the body had been. I hadn't entered it since, but the door was ajar now. Not wide open, just enough to say, "Come in, if you dare." So I did. The body was gone. No blood, no outline, no chalk, no tape. Just an indent in the floorboards, faint and decaying, as though time itself had tried to forget what happened there. But then the closet creaked. I turned. It opened slowly, as if pushed by an unseen hand. Inside was a police uniform, folded, clean, pressed, with name tag that read D. Holloway, the same name on the old case file from the precinct. He died 20 years ago, shot in the line of duty, body never found. I reached out to touch the fabric, and the closet door slammed shut. I screamed. When I opened it again, the uniform was gone. I ran. I don't even remember reaching the front door. That night, I couldn't sleep. The dreams were worse than usual. I saw myself in the mirror again. But this time, it was me who was bleeding, and he was behind me again, closer, whispering something I couldn't quite hear. Until I did. "You left me?" I woke up screaming. The next morning, I received a call from the precinct. Someone had delivered a VHS tape to my old desk, labeled in permanent marker. Play me. There was no return address. I didn't have a VCR, but the evidence room still had one. I borrowed it and locked myself in the archive office. The footage was grainy, night vision, but unmistakably filmed inside that house. I saw someone walking, breathing, their voice muttering into the camera. "This is Officer Holloway, day 6 inside the Blackstone house. I don't think I'm alone anymore." I paused it. My heart slammed against my ribs. He'd gone in there? Alone? The tape fast-forwarded itself. More clips. Holloway talking to himself, then arguing with no one, screaming at something unseen. Finally, him walking into the closet and closing the door. The screen went black for 7 whole seconds. Then a whisper, "She brought me here." Cut to static. I ripped the tape out and threw it into a desk drawer. But the whisper kept echoing. Who was she? Back in my apartment. I tried to piece it together. Holloway had been investigating something at that house. Then he vanished. Now his ghost, or whatever he was haunting me. I pulled the case file again. The last report filed by Holloway before he disappeared read, "The girl knows more than she admits. Keep eyes on her. If she enters the house again, everything unravels." The girl, no name, no photo, just one sentence at the bottom. She doesn't scream. She never did. That night, I went back to the house. Don't ask me why. Obsession, maybe, or guilt. The front gate was open this time. Inside, things had changed. All the mirrors were gone. Every single one, except one, hanging crookedly in the attic. I didn't know why I climbed the stairs, but I did, up and up, past doors that hadn't opened in years, until I reached the attic. The mirror stood there, tall and cracked, and in its reflection, I didn't see myself. I saw Holloway, bleeding, smiling, whispering. It's not the house that keeps them in. It's her, behind me, The attic door slammed shut. There's a sound that glass makes when it fractures, not shattering, not breaking, just cracking beneath pressure. I heard that sound the moment the attic door slammed shut behind me. The mirror didn't move, but it pulsed, like it was breathing, and then I heard it again. It's not the house that keeps them in. It's her. The voice came from the mirror, but not through sound. It settled in my bones, crawled behind my eyes. I backed away slowly, reaching for the door handle. Locked, of course. I turned back toward the mirror, but it had changed. The attic in the reflection was brighter, warmer. Someone was standing in it. Me, but not me. She was wearing my clothes, my face, but smiling with a mouth that wasn't mine. Her eyes were too wide, her arms just a little too long, and she waved. My reflection waved at me. I don't remember screaming, but something pulled me backward, and the attic disappeared. I woke up in my bed. No attic, no mirror, just the sound of rain tapping gently against my window pane. Had I imagined it? Dreamed the whole thing? No, because there on the floor beside my bed was the closet name tag, D. Holloway. I didn't take it with me. I know I didn't. I grabbed my phone. The last call I made was to the precinct, but my call log showed something else. A 45-minute call placed to an unknown number at 3:12 a.m. I played the recording. It was me, but I wasn't talking to anyone. I was whispering, repeating one sentence over and over. She doesn't scream. She never does. The precinct was quiet when I arrived, but the evidence room wasn't. Someone had been in it. The VHS tape? Gone. I checked with dispatch. No one had checked it out. No logs. No signatures. It had simply vanished. I asked about Officer Holloway. The clerk raised an eyebrow. That old missing persons case? What about it? I told him I'd seen a tape. He blinked slowly. Ma'am, there was never a tape. He turned the screen around. The case file had been flagged, sealed, redacted top to bottom, except for one last note added just days ago. Closed due to psychological instability of reporting officer. Reporting officer, me. I left without another word. Back in my apartment, I opened a Holloway file I'd made copies of. I flipped through pages, case photos, witness interviews, handwritten notes, until one photo stopped me cold. A girl, 10 years old, standing outside the Blackstone house, dressed in a red coat, her back to the camera. The timestamps of the photo was taken 3 years before Holloway vanished. Written below, subject of interest, does not speak. I recognized the coat. It was mine, and it's patient. It waited for Anora. It waited for Elias. It waited for Holloway. And now it waits for me. Have you ever wondered what silence sounds like when it's alive? Not quiet, not peace, but hunger. That's what the house breathes. That's what I heard when I pressed my ear to the attic door, hoping, idiotically, that it was just a dream. But the door was real. The chill in my spine? Real. The whisper in the mirror? Real. It's not the house that keeps them in. It's her. But who was she? That night, trapped in the attic, the mirror pulsed like it had a heartbeat, and the air throbbed with something older than the house. Older than me. Something that wanted me quiet. So I screamed, and nothing came out. Not a sound. My throat moved, my lungs burned, but it was like the air didn't carry noise. Like the house swallowed it whole. I stumbled away from the mirror, and it laughed. Or at least, the glass rippled. A ripple of mockery. That's when the floor gave way. I dropped into blackness, hit something soft. Wood and cloth. A mattress? No. Coffins. Rows of them. I was in a hidden chamber beneath the attic. Cold, damp, unfinished with lined the walls. Dozens of names carved into coffins. Names of those declared missing in this town for the past 50 years. Names I recognized. Holloway's was the freshest, but his coffin was open. I turned and there she was. A girl, pale, eyes hollow, hair matted like she hadn't seen daylight in decades. She tilted her head and opened her mouth, but didn't speak. She mouthed it, "Don't scream." She raised her hand, and behind her, the a wall breathed. It opened, revealing a mural etched in soot and dried blood. A woman in black, nailed to a tree, her face void of eyes. Below her, children, mouths open in permanent silence. Then a whisper right in my head. The first scream fed her. The last scream woke her. Suddenly, the coffin shook. The girl pointed toward a trapdoor. I didn't argue. I climbed out, heart thundering, throat raw, and slammed it shut. I was in the basement now. Everything was rotting. Fungal growths crept up the walls, and there, pinned to the ceiling by rusted nails, photos of me entering the house, one for each time I'd come. In the center of the room was an old rotary phone. Ringing, I answered. Detective E, a voice said. Holloway's, if you're hearing this, then she's chosen you. Click, static, then the girl's whisper again. Do not scream. That's how she hears you. I ran, found the stairs, but halfway up, I felt it. The silence, thick, suffocating, pressing in like water. My footsteps made no sound. My breath was stolen before it left my lips. The house wasn't haunted. It was hungry. It fed on noise, especially screams. In the living room, the portrait above the fireplace bled from the eyes. The woman in black again. I pulled it down and found a tunnel, passing behind the fireplace led downward, deeper than any basement should go. I followed it. It opened into a massive underground hall, lined with stone pillars and symbols. Far end. She sat there, eyes hollow, mouth stitched shut, fingers dipped in blood. But it wasn't just a ghost. It was a memory, alive. Around her stood silhouettes, children, men, women, all with mouths sewn shut, all staring at me. I tried to speak, to ask who she was, but my voice was gone again. The air had devoured it. She rose, and the silence screamed. Not noise, but pressure, pain. The kind of scream that doesn't come from lungs, but from walls, from time itself. And in that roar of nothing, I saw the past. This house was never built to live in. It was a temple. The woman had been a healer, accused of witchcraft. The town punished her by severing her tongue and burying her alive beneath her own home. But she didn't die. She watched. She listened. Every cry, every scream, every whispered secret made her stronger. Over the years, children disappeared. Detectives vanished. Voices silenced. Because every time someone screamed, it fed her, until the house itself became her body. And now, I was inside it. Her. She reached for me. I bolted. I don't remember how I got out, just that I collapsed on the street, choking on sound that had finally returned. Sirens, dogs, wind. But I knew the silence had marked me. I wasn't free. Back at the precinct, my voice returned slowly. I wrote everything down, gave them the tapes, the files, the photos. They didn't believe me. They never do. That night, I heard something behind my mirror, not a reflection, a breathing, and written on the glass in blood. Scream once and she's free. Oh, you know that feeling when your ears ring in total silence? That sharp, almost painful hum? As if the air is holding its breath, waiting for something to break? That's what the house felt like when I went back. Only this time, I didn't go alone. I brought the tape, the files, the photos. I needed answers. And I needed to know that if something happened, someone else would see it too. So I called in my partner from the precinct, Malik. He didn't believe me. Not really. But he came. We entered at exactly midnight. The moment the door closed behind us, the air changed. The silence swallowed everything. No creaks. No echo. Not even our footsteps sounded right. Malik whispered, "Creepy place," and his voice sounded like it was vacuumed out of the room. I tried to respond, but nothing came out. My lips moved. No sound. We tried to leave. Door wouldn't budge. That's when I knew. We were already inside the story. No longer observers. The house had us now. We moved through the dark halls. Everything looked normal, but wrong. Like a memory recreated from broken pieces. The wallpaper was peeling in shapes that resembled faces. Mirrors were gone again, but I kept catching glimpses of myself in reflective surfaces. Only it wasn't me. It was her, the girl from File, the one Holloway wrote about, the one who never screamed. Her face mirrored mine, her eyes hollow, but the mouth was always closed. We reached the attic. Malik held the flashlight. It flickered as we stepped inside, and there she was, sitting in a wooden chair across from the crooked mirror, dressed in the same old-fashioned clothes from the photograph, hair over her face. Still, silent. He said, "Miss, are you okay?" She didn't move. He stepped closer. I tried to stop him. I don't know why, but I knew. Too late. She looked up. Her eyes met his, and Malik dropped to the ground, not screaming. Just dropped. I ran to him. He was breathing, eyes wide open but completely mute. His voice was gone. Barely. She stood slowly, tilted her head. "You brought him here," she whispered. You're not real. You're a ghost. A memory." "No," she said, stepping closer. "I'm the first." And then she told me everything. The house wasn't haunted the way we thought. It was cursed by silence. It began over a century ago. A girl, Eliza, was locked inside the house by her parents during the war. To keep her safe, they said, but they never returned. She screamed for help for days, screamed until her voice gave out. And when the hunger came and the dark and the cold, she stopped screaming. She died in silence, but her soul never left. Instead, it punished every scream the house made. She believed noise was betrayal. She believed screaming meant weakness. So she made a vow in the dark. No one screams here again. From that moment on, the house began claiming voices. Police, tenants, investigators, all silenced, all taken, all part of her now. Why me? I asked. Because you listened, because you came back, because you screamed. She reached toward me. But I don't want to scream anymore. I whispered. She smiled. Then you'll stay. The mirror flashed. I saw myself, not as I am, but as I was, trapped, eyes wide, mouth closed, frozen. But then I heard it, a sound, faint, soft, a voice, Malik's, whispering, "Run." His eyes blinked, his lips barely moved, but he was fighting it, fighting her, and I knew what I had to do. I screamed, louder than ever before, a primal, soul-tearing scream that ripped through the silence like a blade. The house shook. The attic light exploded. She screamed back, but hers was a scream of release, of sorrow, of something broken finally breaking free. The mirror shattered, and everything stopped. When I woke, it was morning. The house was quiet. Malik lay beside me, coughing. He could speak again. The front door stood open. We left without a word. Later, we went back with the team. The house was empty. No trace of Eliza. No files. No uniforms. Just a broken mirror in the attic and dust that seemed older than time itself. But sometimes I hear that hum, that pressure in the air, that almost sound before a scream. And I wonder if I didn't break the curse, just passed it on. The end.